Hello, and welcome back to La Jolla Babylon, Season 3, The Undoing of a Suburban Punk, a podcast where I read stories of my extended Gen X adolescence to my coddled millennial little sister, writer, actor, and comedian, Katie Hartman. I'm your host, Aaron Hartman, and if you like what you hear, the best thing you can do for us is to please share this podcast with someone who you think will like it too. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to say, Hi, Katie.
Hi, Aaron.
Welcome back to another episode of La Jolla Babylon, Season 3.
Thanks. It's great to be here.
It's so good to see you. It's been a really long time.
It's been a couple bits, yeah.
We kept getting sick.
We did.
And I don't know about you, but like my microphone is pretty good in some ways. And
I don't know about you, but my microphone's pretty good.
Okay, that may have been like a subtle brag, but really what I was just trying to say was that it picks up a lot.
Yeah.
And especially like if there's some
sort of mucus
in the tone of my voice.
If there's some sort of like sticky thing in the back of your throat.
It goes in there.
Yeah.
It can really, I mean, I can even hear it now.
Aaron, I hate to tell you, it's just the way you sound.
I sound stuffed up.
Stuffed.
How's it going?
It's pretty good. I was weeding our sister's backyard a little bit, pulling up big old roots from this evil non-grape vine that always gets in there. And it rained last night, so I wanted to get in there while the ground was soft and the earth was fresh.
I love weeding.
Yeah.
I use like a flathead screwdriver to do most of my weeding.
Oh, that's so smart.
And no gloves. I just like getting my hands just like.
Oh, I wore gloves because when I don't, it always, my hands are always beat up.
Torn up.
Yeah, because I will pull on these weeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, but.
And then you get that kind of special soreness the next day in your forearms from all that like hard gripping, like you're like the tips of your fingers just like yanking like these tiny little.
Remind me, you made a porn once. Just kidding.
So you're still thinking about that?
Can't get it out of my head. Anyway, it was fun. Well, it was nice. There's definitely a lot more work to do, but I'm glad that I used some of the nice day. So do you want to talk about a little bit about what we're about to hear? Yeah, what's up? What are we diving into?
We're diving into, it's going to be 2 chapters. One of them, and the main one, is a chapter about the band that I was in the 90s that I really thought was going to make me into a rock star. Mm-hmm. Like this is not Old Time Religion, this is another band. And it was just really clear that this was what was happening. And then it didn't. Mm-hmm. And I've had this conversation with so many people my age who were in bands in the 90s. And, it's just one of those things of like, no signs pointed to anything else.
Yeah.
All signs pointed to this is what is going to happen, and it's going to all be awesome. Yeah. It's a little bit of a cautionary tale, but it's also just sort of.
You're a rock star to me, Aaron.
Well, you're a good little sister. Hey, and that's actually, I wanted actually, this is something that I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, and I almost forgot now that you said that. I wonder if, as we talk about the chapters and kind of like the narration and stuff, I want you to be, I feel like you are really honest, but I don't want you to pull punches on me, because as now we're no longer talking about Adam as a kid or Aaron, writing about the distant past. We're getting pretty close to modern times.
Okay.
And I don't really know how to talk about this, but I feel like I've heard from a couple of friends who've listened to the podcast who feel that I've become an unreliable narrator.
Okay. So now it's my responsibility to call you out on anything.
Anything
I
you
mean,
want.
I feel like I've done an okay job at that. I mean, maybe not the best job, but
I feel like
I
feel like you're a total asshole to me.
Well, I wouldn't
feel
go
like...
that far. I wouldn't go that far. I don't know about a total asshole. It's not in my nature. I am sweet and lovable, and just tell the truth. I'm just a truth teller.
You're a truth teller, and you're really supportive.
Yeah.
And therein lies the problem.
I'll do what I can, but if you're looking for someone to dress you down, I think you should pull our other siblings in here. And that's the truth.
Yeah. Oh, that is the truth. I did pick the nice one.
You did. I also have more free time than they do. So.
Right. More mic skills.
Yeah. I have a booth.
That's really funny. I'm not looking for a dressing down necessarily, but just I want to make sure that I'm not skating by too easily.
Okay. I will also say that I am kind of naive in a way that sometimes when things are told to me, I just take them just like face value. So that is also part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not a critique of how you've been responding or because I feel like you kind of interrogate me in this great way, but it's more like I just want to make sure that as we go through this, how do I put it? Like writing about Adam in the 90s, using some kind of 90s way of thinking rather than how I am now, right?
Okay.
So a little bit kind of like that later adolescence or whatever you want to call it, and it's like, is that how Adam was thinking? Or is that what Aaron's thinking? Do you know what I'm saying? Like so there's just like a little bit, yeah.
Sure, I guess. I mean, I'll try my best. I am still your little sister, and in those ways I still look up to you and think that you have your best intentions even. I think I've said this before, but I was talking to somebody about this podcast and I was just like, oh yeah, I always just thought the era was very cool. And then, now I just think about you as a big fucking nerd. I could bully you. But no, as we go into more modern times, I guess I'll try and be more aware of that.
No, I mean you've been good. I mean like in in the Sadie episode when you're like, you made her cry just so you could be the one to comfort her. Woof. Yeah. Yeah.
That sucks.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. 100%. And also, obviously, I'm choosing to write about that and include these, very fallible parts of my life or of the narrative.
Yeah.
As opposed to, trying to make Adam or Aaron the hero. I'm choosing these kind of to include these things that are not great, and
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also things that I'm also learning a lot about you.
Right.
In real time here.
Yeah.
Is it real time or is it fictional time?
This is real time. But by the time I'm done editing,
I'll have learned nothing.
That's right.
The man who edits controls the knowledge.
That's right. Well, thanks. I appreciate you being open to that.
Fuck you. And, is that what you want?
Yeah.
You're wrong.
I'm not asking in a masochistic way. I'm just
blah blah blah. Is that what you want? I am gonna say some shitty things, and at the end being like, "Is that good? was that what you're looking for?"
Yeah. All right. I'll send this to you now, and I'll see you in a little bit.
You just sounded like a goat.
Oh.
You've seen Wicked too many times. Okay, bye.
Bye. KURU. We were the most exciting thing in town. We were. The idea was that Ishii would play a beat on his toy sampler he bought in Tokyo before anyone could get their hands on such a thing stateside, while I played groovy, repetitive, upright bass. He had a turntable and would send a record spinning around backwards, ironically, and play electric guitar through a bunch of effects. We played at a rickety Victorian mansion that had been a party house for a generation. We set up in the kitchen and put our amps in the living room where everyone was dancing. People would walk in to refill their red cups and start talking to us. They were sweating from dancing to the improvised music we were creating at the moment, not realizing that we were the band. Once word spread around the house that the music was actually live, made by us in the kitchen, people started meandering closer. They would beam lovingly, amazed. Electronic music was about to infect this buttoned-up indie rock town, and we were the first virus. We were fun. I played stolen bass lines over and over, using the same cheap turnaround to get back to the beginning. Ishii could start and stop the beat, and had a delay pedal he'd employ to change it up slightly. He had also plugged in his guitar into the mixer and would sometimes solo in his 1980s style, which came off as intentionally cheesy, although I knew better. Ishii was a guitar god in the classic Tokyo style. We started stockpiling gear, real turntables and mixers, rare analog synths, and a theremin, which Ishii, with his perfect pitch, soon mastered. At home, Ishii practiced scratching non-stop, and within a year, he was recognized as more than a DJ. He had risen to the height of notoriety within his subculture. He had become a turntablist. At this time, the Upper Room's drummer had some kind of breakdown, throwing his set into the audience at one point, and KURU were getting better and better gigs. I started choosing to play with KURU instead of the Upper Room, so Addington and a new drummer would sometimes play shows without me. Ishii brought in a friend to join the band. Her name was Sakura, and she played our old keyboards while smoking cigarettes on stage. She was an amazing asset, although not a very nice person. She had 2 boyfriends she played against each other with Machiavellian cunning. They became close friends, shaved each other's heads, and got matching tattoos. It was fascinating. Olympia had a reputation for being cold to strangers. Touring bands knew they had to play there. Too many legends might possibly show up. If you were lucky enough to play in a group in the current zeitgeist, you were sure to have the best night. The odds were better. The venue was going to be empty during your set, while people got drinks around the corner, waiting for the cool band to start. I was part of the problem. I could not wait through a random opening band set. I would get that drink, or even just wait outside. But the truth is, I would usually not last through the set of a beloved band. After 5 or 6 songs, you pretty much get the point. So when constructing a set list with my bands, I always assumed the audience would be full of assholes like me. How do we keep their attention? Keep it short, end strong, and announce your merch at just the right moment. KURU recorded an album which got a ton of attention. Photo shoots, sold-out shows, top 10 lists, merchandise we could barely keep up with. There were about 2 years where my trajectory was clear. It was happening. We got exciting calls almost every day. Musical heroes wanted us to open for them. A huge band from Seattle asked Ishii to DJ on their upcoming record. In New York, we were taken out to lunch by a powerful booking agent who offered her services on the spot. We were on the road constantly. During our 3rd year together, we were offered to play a month on a sort of traveling festival with some very high-profile bands. We were introduced every night by an iconic singer, a charming but manipulative fellow I began to suspect was helping my band plot against me. On that tour, I could feel the threads fray. Ishii and Sakura were in one camp. I was alone in the other. We bickered, not like siblings, but like parents mid-divorce. It was ugly. I nitpicked in ways I knew bugged them. They retaliated in ways that felt nuclear. My rule about smoking in the van while stationary was forgotten at first, then aggressively flaunted. Me. Could you please not smoke while we're parked? It's making me sick. Sakura. You make me sick. I used to say my band was addicted to cigarettes, and I was addicted to being in a van with other people smoking cigarettes. At the end of the tour, Ishii and Sakura sat me down and told me I was out of the band. They could not deal with my shit anymore. They handed me a ticket for a flight home the next day. They would make the 3-day drive from Chicago themselves. I almost tore the ticket up just to fuck with them so they'd have to deal with me in the van. Of course, I took the flight. Donna picked me up. On the drive from SeaTac to Olympia, she warned me that there was something I was not going to like. The Seattle Weekly was running a front cover story about KURU and how excited they were to do their first headlining tour with their new bass player. The photo on the cover featured my freshly exed bandmates, just the two of them, in the basement of the New York venue we'd played just 2 weeks before. This was some premeditated bullshit. I was hurt and humiliated. I did some good legwork during the days it took them to drive back. I told my version of the betrayal to every person I could. Our label wanted nothing to do with them. Samuel told me he would not release anything they recorded without me. The general population had turned against them. The photo shoot raised questions I was only too happy to answer. They hired a photographer, made arrangements to get to the club before me, and did the interview all behind my back. They've been super mean to me the whole tour, and now I know why. They were trying to get me to quit. It was during my smear campaign that Addington got a call from Italy. Europe loved the Upper Room, and a promoter from Rome wanted to set up a tour. Within 3 months of being fired from KURU, I was in the back of a Fiat Ducato van, barreling across the continent, playing sold-out shows from Berlin to Palermo. The Upper Room made 10 albums and returned to Europe at least once a year for a decade. Addington, somehow, became my brother. Two quick things. I had 2 secrets I kept from my father. One was that I was married. I enjoyed keeping something from him. For 7 years, I relished the pang of panic whenever the subject of marriage was brought up. I loved wondering if he really knew and was just fucking with me. I was afraid my father would take my mercenary, ironic marriage as a sign that I was not taking my life seriously. We took a long walk before Sharon's first wedding in the balmy Vermont summer. Once we were down the path, he put his arm around me and said with a twinkle, "So, your mother tells me you finally got divorced." Our personalities clashed often, usually in practical ways. My other secret, the one which filled me with shame and dread, the one that kept me up at night, was that I didn't actually sell my car. My father was paying for my insurance as the Volvo sat rotting in front of my house. I refused to sell it and had no money to fix it. All I needed to do was get a new voltage regulator, fix the brakes, get a new transmission, and replace all the doors. So I told him I junked it. It was one of those situations where the best solution to the problem was to lie. I woke up one day to find the car had been towed. I called the city and learned it would cost as much as a month of rent to retrieve it. But if I chose to leave it to be sold at auction, the money would most likely cancel the impound fees. As I careened towards my 30s, I was still learning that sometimes the best thing to do is to do nothing. Hey, we're back.
Hey, that was a shorty.
Yeah, it's a shorty.
A little shorty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little glimpse.
Just a little revenge glimpse.
No, the narration wasn't the revenge glimpse. This conversation is going to be the revenge glimpse.
Bam, bam, bam. Mm. We're going to name every single fucker. We're gonna burn those. The bridges have been burned, but what we're gonna do is rebuild those bridges and then torch them again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More or less.
Now, why do you think that you were kicked out of that band?
Okay. Yeah, I think I was a little bit of a pain in the ass. I think there are a couple things going on. I think, as we talked about at the end of last season, when you are in a creative relationship with someone else or other people, so much is on the line, right?
Yeah.
You're like thinking about your legacy and your future and your, all the things that you want to see yourself as, right? And
sure.
But then you have these other people who are also having a similar experience, and if you aren't in total lockstep with each other, then you're kind of in each other's way.
Oh my God. I also love that, like, the things that you just mentioned didn't include art. didn't include creating the art. Legacy and future and
but I guess what I'm saying, like if you guys are good at doing the art together, like I feel like bands, there are all sorts of bands that or other kinds of creative things where like the art is good, but it's the relationship outside of that's difficult, right? And so we're really good at making the music, and the shows were amazing, actually. But to answer your question of why I think I got kicked out, that's why I brought all those things up besides the art part.
Yeah.
Because I think we all sort of agreed that what we were making was pretty good, but our personalities, and the thing is, me and the other and the main guy in the group, we were good friends. Like we lived together for 3 years. We we hung out a lot and really liked each other. And I think he and the other person in the band had, their ambition was, I don't know if it was greater than mine, because I was fairly ambitious at the time as well, but they saw themselves as being the next, or the group, the band being the next thing that was going to hit.
Yeah.
Right. And I think they saw me as some sort of liability.
Yeah. Because you didn't smoke cigarettes.
I didn't smoke cigarettes, but also they thought that if they were just two of them, it was kind of more of a kind of concentrated thing. And there were some other electronic duos that were hitting really big.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And they were really deeply into the electronic music scene. And just like things like, so this is like, it's so nitpicky. It's so long ago, but band practice was at my house. Me and the guy lived together. And so, I would get off work and I would, rush across the street to the bus stop because I needed to catch this one bus to get back home. And if I missed that bus, then I was going to be, half hour late to band practice. And so I'd, make sure I was able to leave whenever I got off work and run across the street and then no one would show up for an hour. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I think my communication skills were adolescent.
If you could go back,
yeah,
how would you do different? Like, what did you learn from that?
Well, the truth is, it was a bad relationship.
Yeah.
Right? it was a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
And so getting out of that band and having Old Time Religion kind of do the things that I really wanted to do.
Yeah.
Musically, and kind of, you know, for how weird we were, wholesome. Like Arrington and I, you know, we drank some wine, you know,
Right.
but neither of us did drugs at all.
Yeah.
And so
losers.
I know. And all of our success was really, such as it was one fan at a time, right? Because we were not in any kind of a trending thing. And so, but this other band was, like, we were sort of in this, it was kind of like playing disco in 1977, right? Like,
yeah.
we were doing this thing that was not going to last for very long, although I think they thought that this was going to be the next thing, you know, like we were it. And because all signs point, I mean, I can't even tell you, like, I thought that's, when you're in a band, the music magazines call you all the time and ask you if they can write about you.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
there was
right place, right time.
There was a
Kismet.
museum. Yeah, this, you know, big stupid museum in Seattle, the Experience Music Museum, that Paul, what's the guy's name from
McCartney.
Microsoft. No, from Microsoft. Paul Allen. So Paul Allen started this. It's still there. This gigantic music museum, and they hired a photographer to come up from LA and do a photo shoot of us, and then put us on the front of this big, colorful magazine or newspaper thing that was in. You know, like we were just like, we could do nothing wrong.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. You fell into it.
It was so. Yeah, it was just like, it was the most obvious thing that was about to happen. And so, to answer your question, things turned out great.
No,
You know,
totally.
It was extremely painful to be kicked out of the band.
course.
So if I could do it all over again, I would do it. I would choose this path. You know.
Yeah,
I would,
of course. Yeah.
Because, you know, it's people always make the correlation between romantic relationships and bands, and how, you know, it's like the breakups are painful in the same way.
But it all works out in the end. Everything happens for a reason.
Well, no, it was just like getting out of a, you know, being in a relationship with someone with whom the sex is good and they're like really, you know, interesting and all the things, but then also it's toxic, and so you get out of the relationship and you're like, finally you can breathe again. Finally you can be who you are again, right? And so it's that kind of thing.
Then you get wifed up.
Then you get wifed up. That's right.
But it is that thing where it's like, yeah, and as much as it hurt, it's like, well, that is exactly what needed to happen for you to like get, you know, be in Italy with somebody that you loved and trusted and like had a great time and ate lamb intestine cheese.
That's right. Right. Lamb shit cheese. I will say.
I think I was.
Go ahead.
I think I was more asking about your communication style.
Right. No. Yeah.
Like if you learned anything from that.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. Also, you know, now having been married for a decade and a half.
Brag.
I mean, you know, you like cha-ching. One learns that you can either say the first thing that comes into your head and put all of your shit on someone else, or you can take a breath and be like, how am I contributing to this mess that we're having right now, right?
Yeah.
And
great.
So, you know, I distinctly remember we were having some fight in the van, and the other guy in the band was like, I hear you. Can we please not talk about this right now? And I'd be like, no, we're going to talk about this right now. He's like, we can totally talk about this, but I really just don't want to talk about this right now. I was like, we're talking about it right now. And how annoying is that? Like, how annoying
Pretty
is
annoying.
it? Yeah. Yeah. And so, you know, I don't know, you know, it's not like it wasn't one of those things where I was like, I'm the star of the show. What about, you know, anything like that? It was more about, I mean, I actually don't even know what the fights are about.
Well, it also seems like in those situations when I've been in, and I've not been in obviously this exact situation, but it's like there's a sense of unease. There is something happening underneath the surface that is like, there is something happening, and if it's not being communicated to you, then it's like it makes you feel crazy because they're acting normal. I mean, this is a different thing, but I'm saying like near the end, you know what I mean? God. When they're just like making all these plans and you're just like, what the fuck?
When I was actually out of the band, we were on tour, but I had already been voted out of the band, but they needed to keep me till the end of the tour.
Yeah. Like,
and there is something that I've thought about for a long time. We all had this mutual friend who had been in a huge national band. I'll tell you who they are now, but I'm going to bleep it out, or I'm going to edit this out. But he was the beep for the beeps.
Oh, damn.
Right? Yeah. So our friend was the beeps.
Beep.
And yeah. And I know. when I beep things out on this, I literally just say beep because I don't have the technology to.
Yeah, no, you have to. It's so funny. Beep.
Beep. So, so he was a liability in this band, and they, I guess maybe like couldn't contractually kick him out, and so they were trying to get him to quit by being total assholes to him. This is according to him. And so they were recording, and they would have him record the same song take after take after take after take. He would do a perfect take, and they say, do it again.
Oh, God.
Over and over and over again. And they're trying to get him to quit.
It's like the shitty landlord.
Yeah. It's just so abusive, right?
Yeah.
And so I always felt that that they had taken that lesson and were trying to get me to quit the band in a similar way, just by making me feel like, just like by ostracizing me.
Yeah. That sucks.
So that last tour was pretty brutal. And I just did not know why they were being so aggro towards me. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you found out. Okay. Well, before I put a judgment on it.
Yeah.
I'll ask you.
Yeah.
Do you think the lesson is still not for this, but in life, the best thing to do is to do nothing?
No, that only applies to some things, not everything. But it's important to recognize when that is the solution. No. It's also important to know that is sometimes the solution. Because it is sometimes the solution.
But how do you differentiate?
You need to be mature enough and have enough life experience to recognize when that
rich
when that
That's
golden
rich.
when that golden opportunity raises its stinky little head and you just go, I'm just gonna sit here and watch this thing melt away.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's gonna take care of itself. It's just haven't you ever had like something going wrong with your car and you're like, oh fuck, now I've got to deal with this. And
I've
then
never owned a car.
Goes away.
I've never owned a car.
Oh.
It's one thing I've never had to do in my life.
All right. Well, that's good. Good for you.
I mean, I wish I had a car, but I don't. But there are other things in my life that I feel like I have not addressed and they have just gotten worse.
No, of course. But there have to be some things. But there are some things where you don't address and they get better.
I'll take your word for it, big brother.
That's never happened. Okay. Well, no, you can't take that particular wisdom as the solution to life, but every once in a while, it's good to recognize it when it pops up.
Love it. Love it. Well, you heard it here last, folks.
Yeah. Okay, so but there is one thing that I've been thinking about also with this chapter is that the thing about, and I mentioned this in the Arrington episode, is that, my particular way of playing the upright bass is really specific, and I'm untrained. There's a lot of things I can't do. Like I can't like I can't be like a bass teacher. Like I can't
right.
be like
you can't read music.
I can't read music. I think I hold it wrong. There's all these things that I do wrong just because
quote unquote wrong. Right.
Quote unquote. And so there've been these times in my life where I have kind of humiliated myself by being. I used to have a certain amount of hubris regarding my playing because, like I said before, the things that I did in the groups I was in tended to work within the group.
Yeah.
Right. And so at the end of that tour where I got fired, I'm going to tell you one, maybe two quick anecdotes. One is one of the people who was on the tour. Do you know who Robin Hitchcock is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I often dream of trains when I'm with you. You gave me that album.
I did?
Yeah. I love that album.
So he was on that tour.
Whoa.
I toured with Robin Hitchcock for a month.
Was he solo or was he with the Soft Boys?
No. It was just him. And then for the first maybe week or two,
is he nice? Guy. Is he cool?
So great.
He's so cool, right?
And that's actually, so he was, already an elder statesman of the music world at that time. And actually, a side note, there were several, there were a bunch of bands touring and we were all caravanning. And so, basically if one person had to pull over, we all had to pull over. And he had to pee a lot. And so everybody else was like, traveling with an old man sucks. And he was 48.
Oh, no.
Like, he was only 48.
That's it? That's so amazing. I love it.
Okay, so anyway, but he and I became like, not like friends, but like, we had a lot of like kind of fun talks together and stuff. And he and his girlfriend had gotten married right at the end of the tour. And he invited me to come to the after party, which was at a bar in Seattle. And he's like, yeah, a bunch of us are going to play music. Bring your bass. Right. So I borrowed a car and I drove from, I think I was still in Olympia, to this bar in Seattle. And, I left the bass in the car just in case. And, a bunch of people were sitting around in a circle. These are like real music. Robin Hitchcock is the fucking real deal, right?
Yeah, he's a legend. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, we're going to play some songs. Bring your bass. I brought it inside. And it was him, and I can't remember everyone who was there. I probably didn't recognize everyone, but it was like most of the guys from the band, the United States of America. If that kind of dates it, you don't even know who that is.
I've heard that. I've heard of that band. I'm sure I've heard their music.
They had one giant hit in the 90s.
Is that the Peaches?
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah, that was them. But they're like, professional musicians. And so I got there, and everyone was just like playing Beatles songs, like, and the complicated ones, right? And I kind of ruined the jam session because I was like spend half the song trying to figure out where to put my fingers, right? They were like, isn't it good to be one of the people? And I'm like, boom, 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 boom. Oh, boo doo boo boo doo boo. By the time I did that, they're on the next section. Yeah, it sucked.
Oh, man.
I was just like trying to play as quietly as I could. And it was just like one of those things where I was like, I can only do what I can do.
Yeah.
Like and then I'm going to tell you one more anecdote about me not being a very good bass player.
Okay. Okay, but can we remove the phrase not being a very good bass player and being a singular or a unique bass player?
Okay, yeah.
Let's turn it into a positive.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to tell you one more anecdote about me being about me being a very particular kind of bass player. So, and this is the story that almost ruined my relationship with who was then my future wife. So I was still living
your second wife?
Exactly. My second wife. My second and current wife.
Mm-hmm. Yes, there we go. Good clarification.
Okay, so I was still living in Portland, and we were cross-country dating for a year, and I was in New York visiting, and a bunch of her friends were having this house party bluegrass / old time jam thing. And Alicia, my wife, is an incredible fiddle player, right? She can do klezmer, she can do old timey things. She knows all those songs, like Irish ballads and all that shit. She can just sit in with anyone, right? It's crazy.
Yeah, she's very good.
She's very good. So, and everybody else in this house was also like equally good, if not kind of like, professional grade, just like jammers, guitars, some banjos, but mostly like guitars and fiddles and stuff. The bass player from her klezmer band, Golem, was there. And there was a bunch of people sitting around playing old time songs. And Taylor, the bass player, is like, "Hey, you want to sit in on a song?" And I was like, "Sure." Do you know this story?
I don't think so.
Oh my God. Okay. So I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I mean, because had been watching them, and everyone's just, like these like do 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 whatever, like they're old time songs. And so Alicia's on fiddle. There's maybe two people on fiddle, someone on guitar, and then me. And I don't remember the song it was. And so they start playing, and usually these songs are in G. It's basically you kind of go like G, C, F, G, some pattern of this like really repetitive.
Right, pretty simple. Yeah.
Okay, so they start playing some song, and I'm like doing my thing. I'm kind of like, oh, okay, doom, 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 ba-doom, doom, boom, doom, ba-doom, 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 bum, or something, right? Like I find a
nice little rhythm. You're getting in there.
I come up. Thank you. I come up with a little bass part, right? Right. You're looking at me like, what's wrong with this? So not too long after that, Alicia and I start walking back to her apartment, and we've been dating for probably 7 or 8 months. I was like, "Hey, we finally played music together," and she goes, "Kind of." I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "What were you doing?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "What were you playing?" And I was like, I don't know. I was like playing. I mean, I know it took me a little while to find it, but like I was just playing along with you guys. What I did not realize is that the old time scene is very particular, and there is a very clear way of playing these songs, right? And you don't deviate from the way that old time. Now, this is like specific to old time, right? So like the way you play the bass part is basically doom 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 doom, or something like that. I mean, you can go doom doom doom, and some of the guys can show off, but they show off within the very specific parameters of this style, right? It's specific, right? Okay, so she thought that I was, because I syncopate, right? Like that. I get groovy.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I like to find.
Let me find my Herbie Hancock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. Right. No, you do not get funky.
So did she think you were just being cocky?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
She completely, she thought, and she was, and it was bad. Like she was like, because she was actually a little bit embarrassed because this is like her scene, right? One of her scenes. But like, she was like, and then I bring my boyfriend in, and he's just like,
my West Coast boyfriend.
Yeah.
What do they do over there in the Pacific?
I know. Exactly. And so I came up with this, and I call it the metaphor that saved my relationship. And it goes like this. Alicia and I are both athletes, right? But we play different sports. Alicia plays tennis, and I play baseball. And both totally legitimate sports, and we're both,
you can hit a tennis ball with a baseball bat.
So she invited me to play tennis with her friends, and someone lobbed the ball over to me, and I hit it as hard as I could over the fence. And I'm like, fucking good at this. Fucking tennis. Meanwhile, everyone's like, now we can't fucking play because the ball's on the other side of the fence. And I'm like, because I didn't know the rules of how to play tennis because I Had never done that before. Yeah.
Wow.
So, and amazingly, she's like, okay, I get that.
That's so funny. You kind of blew her mind a little bit.
It might be something like that. Or I think it was just more like, oh, this guy, more like he's just ignorant and not an asshole. You know what I mean?
Still true.
I know. Right. Yeah. So we can sort of go back to the story or whatever, the chapter. I just felt like I needed to. That chapter really makes me think about my own flaws in musicianship. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, if you attribute them to kicking you out because of that, then sure. But also, the other way to look at it is that in the end, it wasn't going to be a good fit. And it was just like, well, you ended up in the right fit.
100%.
The thing that accommodates your actual talent and your actual gift.
Yeah. No, and I have zero regrets, but I do have to say, I had dreams about them, being on stage with them and being like, why the fuck am I on stage with these people? You know, or just anxiety dreams.
Yeah. Like ex partner dreams. Totally.
For like 10 years.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's like, it really, really fucked with me. But I'm all better now.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah. It was a really good experience to have, you know, just to be in some like It's band for a minute.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And those pictures are awesome.
Yeah.
I remember them.
Anyway, that's all I got.
All right. Well, that was fun. What's on the docket? What's for next?
You always ask me that, and then I have to look at my thing.
I just started saying what's next because you started saying, do you want to know what's next?
So the next...
I'll stop asking.
No, because sometimes I know what's coming next, and sometimes I have to look at my notes because it's like that. So the next episode is going to be intense. The next episode is going to be a reunion with an ex-girlfriend, and a bunch of shit just gets laid out that hits Adam from out of nowhere.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not tragic or anything like that, but it's one of those life things that you just have to deal with.
And deal with it we shall. Okay.
You have to deal with it by writing about it and then
reading it out loud and then having someone else listen to it and then talking about it and then releasing that for other people to listen to.
That's what everyone does, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Shit.
Well, till next time.
All right, till next time.
Bye, love you.
Bye, I love you too.
The man who edits controls the knowledge.
Oh my God, thank you so much for listening all the way to the end. La Jolla Babylon is written, produced, and edited by Aaron Hartman, with music by Aaron Hartman, co-piloted by Katie Hartman, presented in association with Ruinous Media. We'd love to hear from you. You can find us on Instagram, or you can send us an old-timey email at lajollababylon@gmail.com. Please subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Your review and 5-star rating will help others find this fucking podcast. To hear more episodes of this show or other Ruinous Media podcasts, please go to ruinousmedia.com or wherever you get your podcasts.